When people talk about the world's most elite soldiers, names like the Navy SEALs and S.A.S. come up. But in Russia, their strongest special force, named Spetsnaz, is spoken with a mix of fear and awe. Spetsnaz isn't a single unit, but a network of elite forces serving across Russia's military and security services. Their reputation is built on secrecy, brutal efficiency, and a willingness to do whatever it takes. Unlike their Western counterparts, Spetsnaz stories rarely make it to the big screen. Their operations are shrouded in mystery, by design. Are they super soldiers or just highly effective professionals? The truth lies somewhere in between. What sets them apart is their mindset, resilience, ruthless efficiency, and a deep sense of national duty. Their training, rooted in the philosophy of Systema, forges instinct, adaptability, and psychological dominance. Spetsnaz are Russia's direct action specialists, intelligence gatherers, and counterterrorism experts, operating in the world's most dangerous places. Their missions range from hostage rescue to sabotage behind enemy lines. In this video, we'll uncover their history, training, legendary operations, and how they compare to the West. The Spetsnaz story begins after World War II, as the Cold War loomed and the Soviet Union faced new threats. With NATO developing tactical nuclear weapons, the Soviets needed soldiers who could operate deep behind enemy lines to find and destroy these weapons. In 1950, the first Spetsnaz units formed under the GRU, focusing on reconnaissance and sabotage. These operatives were trained to blend in, survive independently, and strike key targets like command centers and missile launchers. Over time, Spetsnaz expanded. Naval units specialized in underwater sabotage, while KGB units like Alpha Group focused on counterterrorism. Each unit had a unique role, making Spetsnaz a flexible tool for the Soviet state. The collapse of the Soviet Union brought hardship, but brutal conflicts like the Chechen Wars forced Spetsnaz to adapt to urban warfare and counterinsurgency. These experiences reshaped them into a modern, battle-hardened force. Today's Spetsnaz are forged from Cold War origins and hardened by modern conflict. Their legacy is one of adaptation and survival. Now, let's see what it takes to become one. Spetsnaz Training is infamous for its brutality, designed to break and rebuild candidates into unbreakable warriors. Only the toughest survive the initial selection, grueling physical tests, psychological evaluations, and background checks. Training pushes recruits through forced marches, sleep deprivation, and relentless hand-to-hand combat. Sparring with multiple opponents while exhausted is routine. Pain and fatigue are constant companions. The goal isn't just strength, but mental resilience, calm under chaos, decisive under pressure. Psychological training is intense. Recruits face isolation, disorienting noise, and high-stress scenarios to strip away ego and instill the Spetsnaz code. The final test is a multi-day ordeal. Long marches, obstacle courses, and brutal combat trials. Only those who endure earn the Maroon Beret. Spetsnaz aren't just soldiers. They're survivors of a crucible that forges human weapons. Their training is the foundation of their fearsome reputation. But reputation is built on action. Let's look at their legacy of operations. Spetsnaz earned their reputation through daring operations, not just training. In 1968, disguised as tourists, they seized Prague's airport, enabling a Soviet takeover with minimal resistance. In 1979, they stormed Afghanistan's Taj Beg Palace, eliminating the president in a swift, brutal assault. The Chechen Wars tested them in urban combat and counterinsurgency, honing their skills in some of the world's toughest battles. Spetsnaz led raids, eliminated insurgent leaders, and operated deep behind enemy lines, often at great cost. In Syria, they advised local forces, called in airstrikes, and hunted high-value targets, playing a key role in battles like Palmyra. These missions showcase their adaptability and reach, projecting Russian power far beyond its borders. Each operation added to their legend, ruthless, efficient, and unpredictable. Their legacy is written in the shadows of global conflict. But how do they compare to the West's best? Comparing Spetsnaz to Western units like the S.A.S. or Delta Force reveals two very different philosophies. Western special forces rely on advanced technology, precision, and minimizing collateral damage, surgical strikes with high-tech support. Spetsnaz, by contrast, are trained for self-reliance, deception, and overwhelming force, often operating with less tech and more brutality. Their doctrine, rooted in maskirovka, blends direct action with covert operations and political influence. While S.A.S. or Delta might capture a single target, Spetsnaz could destabilize an entire region. Both are elite, but their missions and methods reflect their nation's strategic goals. The West's scalpel versus Russia's sledgehammer. Ultimately, it's not about who's better, but who's best suited for the mission. Spetsnaz embody a uniquely Russian approach, unconventional, relentless, and feared worldwide. Their legend endures, forged in secrecy and sharpened by conflict.